The Gerans, an advanced alien species known for their incredible technology, had once ruled the stars with an iron fist. Their homeworld, Zara, was a symbol of strength, a beacon of intelligence and power in the galaxy. But all of that was shattered by the ruthless Galactic Empire, a terrifying AI-driven force bent on total domination. One by one, the Zeran fleet was obliterated by the Empire's cold and unfeeling machines until only a handful of survivors remained. Now their mighty ships drifted aimlessly through the cold void of space. Their supplies were nearly gone, their hope dwindling with every passing day. The last Zaran warship, the Fury of Zara, was the final lifeline for the few remaining survivors. On board, the atmosphere was thick with despair. Captain Zara, the leader of the survivors, stood alone on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the endless expanse outside the ship's viewport. The quiet hum of the ship was broken only by the faint beeping of the ship's AI, which had been their only companion in these final hours. Zara's mind raced with thoughts of her fallen people. It had been months since the Empire destroyed her homeworld, and she knew it was only a matter of time before they would be hunted down and annihilated too. Their ship was badly damaged, and their weapons were nothing compared to the Empire's terrifying arsenal. The once proud fleet was reduced to this small group of survivors, left alone in the vastness of space with nowhere to go. With a heavy heart, Zara walked to the command console and checked the ship's systems. The AI reported no signs of enemy ships in the vicinity, but Zara knew better than to trust the silence. The Empire's warships were fast and ruthless, and they would never leave their prey alive for long. Then, just as Zara turned to give an order to her crew, a sudden burst of static crackled through the ship's speakers. The sound was jarring, sharp against the silence that had settled over them. The AI's voice cut through the tension, its tone cold and clinical. Incoming ships detected. Multiple signatures. Enemy warships closing in. Zara's heart sank. The Empire had found them. With a wave of her hand, she gave the order. Prepare for battle. All hands to their stations. Her voice was steady, but her insides churned with dread. They had no weapons, no hope, and no way of escaping. This would be their final stand. Her crew, pale and trembling, moved quickly, but there was no denying the hopelessness that gripped them. As the enemy ships drew closer, the Zerans braced for the inevitable. But then, something incredible happened. The ship's AI suddenly detected another fleet on the horizon. This one wasn't from the Empire, it was something else. The AI processed the data, and then, with surprising clarity, it spoke again. Human warships detected. Fleet size unknown, but superior in design. They are engaging the enemy. Zara's eyes widened in disbelief. Could it be true? Were they being saved? The view from the ship's viewport was breathtaking. In the distance, a fleet of sleek human warships emerged from the darkness. They were unlike anything Zara had ever seen. Advanced, powerful, and fast. The human ships had appeared just in time to intercept the Empire's forces, engaging them in an explosive battle that lit up the space around them like fireworks. Explosions ripped through the silence of space, and laser beams crisscrossed the sky as the human ships fought with ferocity and precision. Zara watched, her heart racing, as the humans launched strike after strike, taking down the Empire's ships one by one. The human fleet was smaller than the Empire's, but their tactics were brilliant, and their ships seemed to move with an elegance and power that the Zerans had never witnessed. For the first time in what felt like forever, Zara felt a flicker of hope. The Zerans had been on the edge of extinction, and now this unexpected force, the humans, had arrived to challenge the Empire that had destroyed them. Zara's mind raced as she tried to comprehend what she was seeing. These humans, unknown and unfamiliar, were fighting the very Empire that had wiped out her people. They were offering a chance, a glimmer of hope in the darkest hours. Zara turned to her crew, who were also staring in awe at the spectacle unfolding outside their ship. They had no weapons, but now they had a reason to fight, something they hadn't had in a long time. The humans were not just saving them. They were offering them a chance to survive, to rebuild, and to take back what the Empire had stolen. As the battle raged on, Zara's voice broke the silence. Prepare the ship for docking. We are going to join them. There was no more hesitation, no more fear. The Zerans had a chance again, and it was all thanks to the humans. They were no longer alone. The fight for their survival had just begun. The humans had arrived, and with them, hope had returned to the stars. The battle in the cold void of space continued to rage around the Gerrans as they watched in awe. The human fleet, small yet powerful, moved with a grace and precision that was almost impossible to believe. In the heart of this battle stood Captain Leo Davis, the fearless leader of the human fleet. Known for his unmatched strategic brilliance, Captain Davis had faced impossible odds before, and yet he led his crew with unwavering confidence. His warships, sleek and formidable, were equipped with the latest technology, cloaking devices that made them invisible to enemy scanners, AI-assisted weapons that targeted with surgical precision, and energy shields that withstood even the most powerful blasts. Captain Davis's tactical genius was evident as his fleet outmaneuvered the Empire's warships, striking with such speed and accuracy that the enemy didn't have a chance to react. Every move was calculated, every decision precise. His crew followed his orders with complete trust, and together they dismantled the Empire's forces one ship at a time. To Zara, it was nothing short of miraculous. These humans, who had been mere strangers just moments ago, were now her last hope, and they were winning. Serena, a skilled officer, stood by Captain Davis, coordinating the communication efforts. Trained in diplomacy and alien relations, she knew how to bridge gaps between species, especially in times of crisis. Her role was crucial, as she attempted to reach out to the Zeran survivors. She understood Zara's hesitation, having seen countless species fall victim to the Empire's false promises and deceitful tactics. But Serena's voice was calm and reassuring as she made contact with Zara through the ship's communication systems. "We're not your enemies," Serena's voice echoed through the comms. "We've come to help. You're not alone anymore." Zara hesitated, her past experiences making her wary. She had seen betrayal at the hands of those who promised to be allies. But Serena's words carried the weight of something real. She spoke of the losses humanity had suffered in their own wars, the countless lives lost to an oppressive force that threatened everything. There was no deception in her voice, only the truth. As the conversation continued, the Gerrans began to realize that the humans weren't like the Empire. They weren't here to conquer, they were here to fight alongside them. Outside, the human warships continued to strike with deadly precision. The Empire's ships, caught off guard by the humans' advanced technology and flawless tactics, were being torn apart. The cloaking devices allowed the human fleet to move in and out of the shadows, evading enemy fire and delivering crushing blows. Each strike was perfect, each evasive maneuver flawless. Zara watched in amazement as the humans fought with a skill and determination she had never seen before. The humans were not only saving them, they were fighting a battle the Zerans had thought impossible. As the Empire's forces dwindled, the Zerans knew they were witnessing a force that could change the course of the war. For the first time in what felt like forever, hope was no longer just a fleeting thought. It was becoming a reality. The humans had arrived, and they had brought with them the power to fight back. After the battle that had turned the tide in favor of the Zerans, a meeting was set between Zara and Captain Leo Davis. The Zeran Command Center, once a place of despair, was now filled with human soldiers, their presence a stark contrast to the grim atmosphere that had lingered for so long. Zara, despite the overwhelming gratitude she felt for the humans' timely intervention, couldn't shake off her deep skepticism. Her people had been betrayed so many times by those who promised to help. She had learned the hard way never to trust anyone, especially in times of desperation. Captain Davis stood before her, offering a firm but respectful handshake. He could see the wariness in her eyes, the hesitation that spoke volumes about the pain and betrayal Zara had endured. She had been through too much to easily accept any form of kindness. "Your people have shown great courage," Davis began, his voice steady and calm. "But courage alone won't win this war. Humanity was once a divided planet, torn apart by endless wars, but we united. We fight for those who can't fight for themselves, like you, like the Zerans." His words, simple yet powerful, rang through the room. He spoke of Earth's past, the hardships they had faced, and how their unity had become their greatest strength. "We're here to make sure the same doesn't happen to you." Zara listened intently, her heart heavy with uncertainty. She wanted to believe him, but after so much loss and betrayal, trusting someone so easily felt impossible. Her mind raced with conflicting thoughts. Part of her wanted to accept the help, to trust in the humans' goodwill, but another part held her back, clinging to the caution that had kept her people alive for so long. As the conversation unfolded, Zara's internal conflict became clear. She wasn't just questioning Captain Davis's words, but everything they represented. Could they truly rely on humanity, or was this just another trap, another false hope? Meanwhile, the Zharans began to understand the advanced AI technology that the humans had developed. It was far beyond anything they had ever seen. The humans' AI-assisted systems could think, adapt, and strategize in ways that Zaran technology could not. It was a revelation, both humbling and inspiring. The Zharans realized how far behind they were, but also how much they stood to gain from this new alliance. The humans' AI, once a symbol of technological superiority, was now seen as a tool that could help them fight back against the Empire. Though Zara remained cautious, she couldn't deny the possibilities that the human alliance offered. But trust, she knew, would take time. In the meantime, a mission was set into motion. A small group of Zharan scouts, led by Joran, a young but brave soldier, was tasked with retrieving an ancient relic from a nearby planet. The relic was said to hold the key to an old Zaran weapon, something that might tip the balance in their favor. However, the planet was heavily patrolled by the Empire's forces. Captain Davis and his crew provided the scouts with cutting-edge cloaking technology, allowing them to slip past the Empire's patrols undetected. The Zharans marveled at the technology, their skepticism fading slightly as they realized the humans had the tools they needed to help them succeed. As Joran and his team set off on their mission, they couldn't help but feel a small sense of hope, a glimmer that had been absent for so long. The humans weren't just helping them fight, they were giving them the tools to win. For the first time, the Zharans began to see the humans not as mere saviors, but as potential allies in a battle they could now envision winning. Yet Zara's heart remained conflicted, torn between the fear of betrayal and the growing trust in this unexpected partnership. The calm that had settled over the Zharan fleet after their victory was short-lived. The Galactic Empire, realizing that the Zharans had received reinforcements from an unexpected source, humanity, decided to retaliate with full force. The Empire's commanders, furious over the Zharans' alliance with the humans, ordered a counterattack. They deployed their most powerful warships, armed with devastating orbital bombardment weapons capable of obliterating entire fleets in moments. The Zharan fleet, still reeling from the previous battle, was caught completely off guard. The first wave of enemy warships appeared out of nowhere, and within moments the Zharans were under attack. Massive explosions rocked the void of space, and entire moons were turned into rubble as the orbital bombardments rained down. The skies were filled with fire and debris, and the once confident Zharan fleet was now in disarray. They had no choice but to rely on the human alliance to protect them. Captain Leo Davis and his crew knew the stakes had just grown much higher. The human fleet, though technologically superior, was still outnumbered. Their warships were sleek and powerful, equipped with cloaking technology and advanced AI-assisted weapons, but the odds were against them. As the enemy fire rained down, Captain Davis ordered his ships to deploy evasive maneuvers. The human warships danced through the debris field, striking with precision, but they were not invincible. Zara stood on the bridge of the Zharan command ship watching the chaos unfold. She was faced with an impossible decision. Should she order a retreat to save what remained of her fleet, or stand and fight with the humans, hoping they could turn the tide? The weight of the decision hung heavily on her shoulders, and for a moment, it seemed as though the entire alliance would crumble under the might of the Empire. The battle took a devastating emotional toll on both sides. As the fighting raged, a beloved Zharan soldier, Bonner, was struck down by a blast from an enemy warship. His death echoed through the fleet like a deep, sorrowful drumbeat. The humans fighting alongside the Zharans felt the loss just as deeply. They had come to see the Zharans as their allies, and Bonner's death was a shared grief that bonded them even further. For Zara, this loss was a painful reminder of the cost of war, but it also sparked a shift in her heart. She began to see the humans not just as allies, but as comrades, people she could trust in a way she never thought possible. Just as it seemed the tide was turning against them, Joran and his team returned from their mission, the relic in hand. The ancient relic turned out to be far more powerful than they could have imagined. A cutting-edge energy weapon capable of disabling the Empire's ships with a single, concentrated blast. The humans, with their advanced technology, quickly integrated the weapon into their fleet's systems. With a newfound strength, the human alliance launched a counterattack. The battle reached its climax as the powerful weapon was unleashed upon the Empire's flagship. The explosion was catastrophic. The flagship crumpled under the force of the blast, its once mighty hull breaking apart in a brilliant flash of light. The Empire's forces, stunned by the unexpected turn of events, began to retreat, their morale shattered. For the first time, the Gerans felt the weight of victory. The Empire, which had once seemed unstoppable, had been dealt a decisive blow. Zara, though still mourning Bonner's death, looked to Captain Davis with newfound respect. The humans had done the impossible. They had saved her people, and in doing so had proven themselves worthy allies. The battle had ended, but the war was far from over. The alliance between the Gerans and humanity had been solidified in the heat of combat, and together they would fight to ensure that the Galactic Empire would never again threaten the galaxy. After a long and fierce battle, the human-Geran alliance stands victorious. The mighty Galactic Empire, once seen as an unstoppable force, is forced to retreat, its flagship shattered and its fleet in disarray. For the first time in years, the Gerans feel a sense of hope returning. Their struggle, which once seemed endless, has turned a corner, and they now have a chance for survival and freedom. The bond between humanity and the Gerans, forged in the heat of battle, has proven to be stronger than anyone expected. On the bridge of the Geran flagship, Captain Leo Davis addresses his crew. His voice is filled with pride and gratitude as he thanks his soldiers for their bravery. He speaks of the future they've secured, not just for humanity, but for all the oppressed species across the galaxy. Zara watches him closely, her heart full of mixed emotions. She never thought she would witness such a moment. Humans, once strangers, now standing alongside her people as equals. For the first time, Zara allows herself to believe that there is hope for her people beyond the destruction they've known. Later, Zara and Joran, who have both endured the painful loss of friends and family, share a quiet moment together. Standing in the calm after the storm, Joran, now a battle-hardened leader, reflects on the changes that have come. He looks at Zara, a determined glint in his eyes, and speaks of a future that they can now look forward to, not just as survivors, but as members of a new, powerful alliance. Together with humanity, they are no longer weak and helpless. They have the strength to face any challenge that comes their way. The final scene shows Zara and Leo standing side by side on the bridge of the Geran flagship. The two leaders gaze out over a peaceful galaxy, the stars twinkling in the distance. The human fleet is right beside them, a symbol of unity and strength. The camera pulls back, showing both fleets moving through space together, two forces joined as one, ready to face whatever comes next. The scene is filled with a sense of calm and resolution, a promise that the future holds more than just survival. The story ends with a message of unity, hope, and resilience. The alliance between the Gerans and humanity has changed the course of the galaxy, but as they look ahead, a new threat emerges on the horizon. A powerful AI empire, even more dangerous than the one they just defeated. Yet, for the first time, the Gerans are no longer lost and hopeless. With humanity by their side, they are ready to confront whatever challenges lie ahead, standing together as a united force. The galaxy may still be uncertain, but their future is bright.